Ladies and gentlemen, the presiding officers just had a meeting with leaders of parliamentary political parties regarding the State of the Nation address. They are here to make an announcement regarding a decision that has been taken with regard to the State of the Nation address. The Speaker of the National Assembly will go through the statement and then we'll take one round of questions afterwards. Speaker.
The State of the Nation address is an important occasion in the national political program of Parliament. We have been dismayed in the past 4 years at the disruption, anarchy and chaos that have been characteristic of this annual joint sitting, which in some way marks the opening of Parliament. Reporting through Parliament on the state of the nation is a critical accountability action by the executive, and it must happen. Developments this year, particularly the calls for disruption and or postponement of the joint sitting, have therefore caused us great concern. We have regrettably come to the conclusion that there is little likelihood of an uneventful joint sitting of Parliament this coming Thursday. With this in mind, we decided to approach the President of the Republic to propose that we postpone the joint sitting in order to create room for establishing a much more conducive political atmosphere in Parliament. And at this point, I want to make reference to our press briefing last week, where we informed you publicly, we informed South Africa through the media that we had no reason at that point to doubt that we had to postpone the day of this joint sitting. However, we have since looked realistically at the developments, and we thought that we need to create room for establishing a much more conducive political atmosphere in Parliament. When we met the President this afternoon, we then learned that he was already writing to Parliament to ask for the postponement. This postponement has taken into account the scheduled tabling of the national budget in the next 2 weeks, and we are going all out to make sure that the budget is not disturbed or in fact postponed at all, because that would affect the life of the Republic. We wish to assure fellow South Africans and everyone affected by this decision that these actions are being taken in the best interest of Parliament and the country. A new date for the State of the Nation address will be announced very, very soon. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you will appreciate, the presiding officers have got a lot of issues to attend to. We are only going to take one round of at least 4 questions. All right? Let's say you did the first to go, and then Paul, you also will be the third, and then you will be the fourth. Okay.
Madam Speaker, Lester ENCA, when you approached President Jacob Zuma earlier, was there any indication that he would in fact be resigning?
Well, all we know that he told us was that he was in the process of writing to us, and therefore were awaiting the letter.
Madam Speaker, Paul Vecchiara of Bloomberg. When you say postponements, have you started considering another date? And how long do you think it will be before we have a new date for SONA?
We have indeed considered. We do have a proposal not to postpone by more than a week. So if we can, a week will be sufficient.
Okay, the third question?
Can I ask?
You are covered. Okay.
So at what point, ma'am, did you realize that it is not conducive to continue with the SONA? Between now and last Thursday, what happened?
Go on. At what point? You will remember that last week I referred to letters which had been written to the Speaker of the National Assembly that were asking us to consider a postponement. At that point, we could not respond and say definitely we are postponing or we are not postponing. We said we are on track because we needed to do a number of things. As presiding officers, we needed to meet up with parties. We needed to consider the issues that they were putting to us. We needed also to consider the mood of the country. And we needed to then have this consultation with the President of the Republic so that we are satisfied in our minds that there is no prospect of a very productive SONA. This we have done, and we are satisfied that there would no be, insisting on SONA on Thursday would not serve any purpose.
How did
Fourth and the last question.
I want to know, how did the possible recall of President Jacob Zuma play into your decision?
You know, last week Monday, we had an interaction with stakeholders that included in the main the members of the media. The issue of the importance of developments broadly within the body politic, as it was put by a professor who raised the issue in Johannesburg to us, is of course a factor. It's always a factor. We are not just looking at logistical arrangements. We are listening to stakeholders, political stakeholders, members of society from different sectors, concerns being raised in the political environment. And all of these have to come into effect in influencing our understanding of the seriousness of the situation, what exactly is going on, how various people are also contributing to what needs to be done as part of being positive about contributing to the environment and the development of an understanding as to what must be done best.
Was it a unanimous decision?
Sorry, Speaker.
Thank you. Can we take the last question?
Speaker, there have been reports that you'll be meeting ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa on the issues. Can you confirm this, and what will be communicated to the broader party?
We are in continuing interaction with the President of the ANC because he is also the leader of government business. So of necessity, when we are dealing with issues dealing with Parliament, we must be talking to his office, we must be talking to the Chief Whip, we must be talking to political parties that are stakeholders within the parliamentary environment.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming at a short notice. We will send a statement out.